Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hello, friends, and welcome to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for fresh, squeezed Bible study. The only place you can get it on the internet, podcasted to you every day, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. We study the Psalms here verse by verse, and this week we're going to begin our study of Psalm 139. We're going to do 12 verses of the 24 verses this week. So this is a beautiful psalm. It is titled A Psalm of David to the choir master, actually. We have the choir master back doing his job. So this one's to the choir master. It's a psalm or melody of David. And we're going to do, as I said, the first 12 verses this week. I'll break it up into pairs, except for a great big section down there in verse 7, where we're going to find out where we can go from God's Spirit. David does a little test run of that, and he tells us what his results are. So we're going to look at that this week. We'll talk about the remainder of the psalm when we get closer to the end, because we're going to look forward to what David has to say about his own creation. So let's begin today reading verses 1 and 2, and this is my translation. O Lord, you have searched me, and you know. You know my sitting and my rising. You understand my thoughts from a distance. That's beautiful, isn't it? Now, as I said, this is my translation, so when you read this in your authorized version or your English Standard or your New American Standard, please understand that this is mine, and I make it a little more wooden, just so we can have comparison, contrast here, just to highlight certain words. And here in the first verse, I hope you heard my translation was just a little bit different. O Lord, you have searched me, and you know. The second me there is not in the text. It's just you know. And I think all of us probably can maybe arrive at that on our own. If the Lord searches us, He knows. It doesn't have to be said what He knows, because we know what He knows. When He looks inside, when He cracks open the hood, and He does an inspection of your parts, what is He going to find? Well, that's why the psalmist prays this way. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, Lord, you have searched me, and you know. Yeah, you know the good stuff. You know the bad stuff. You know the insides and the outsides. You know the top and the bottom, the front and the back. You know. You know what I've done. You know where I've been, what I've said, what I've thought. And then he says in verse 2, and this comes to the thought part, you know. Now that's emphasized here. There's the personal pronoun you, which begins this sentence, and then we have the verb followed it with the second person singular frame. So you translate that, or at least I'm translating it, with an emphasis. You know my sitting and my rising. So He knows when you come into the house. He knows when you lie down in your house. He knows when you get up from your bed. He knows when you get up from your couch, from your chair, from your kitchen table. He knows when you get up from your lawn chair. He knows when you sit down in any of those things. God knows everything about your coming and your going, my sitting and my rising. You understand my thoughts from a distance. Now, that is very interesting. It means that God knows your thoughts long before you ever think them. So, does He know? Oh, yes, He does, doesn't He? He knows me because He searched me. He knows everything about me. He knows. He knows my sitting and my rising. He understands my thoughts long before I ever think them. What a marvelous, omniscient God He is. Would you worship Him today as that omniscient God and just say to Him, Lord, you have searched me, and you know. And just confess to Him today what it is that He already knows. And put it out on the table and let the Lord Jesus deal with that in His way. Because He is our advocate with the Father. And we can honestly say, you know. So join me again tomorrow as we look at verses 3 and 4 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.